Hey guys, welcome back to my second episode. I actually decided to plan what I was gonna talk about for this one. I wanted to talk about a short film that I was thinking that I eventually want to create, hopefully. But yeah, so I guess let's get started with the title. Um, I was thinking two ideas for the title. It would be either changing drivers. Let's see if I could actually type this. Changing drivers, or let's see, sorry guys, or it be the drive to school. But so basically, this short film was I thought about for a while, and I never really knew when I was gonna start it. But I've always had the idea of um, hopefully one day producing this film, maybe directing it. That'd be sick. It's a dream, of course. Maybe it will happen, maybe it won't. But basically, I'm taking an Asian American film class, and what's cool is that a lot of emerging Asian American directors are creating these films about their personal lives. And I thought it would be cool to, I guess, show you guys what I thought might be a cool story idea that I have. So basically, growing up, we used to have this one car. It's like an SUV, right? I'll try my best. This is a top-down view, but basically, there are three seats right here. Like the middle seat's like really cramped. This is a driver's seat, and this is the shotgun seat. I don't know what they call it, right? And then this is of course the middle bar, right? But basically, when I was younger, my mom used to drive all four of my all four of the siblings. So it's like I have two older brothers, M, B, R, S. I'm R. And two older brothers and one younger sister. But essentially, growing up, I always sat in the middle. I don't know why, because my younger sister had this like little like raised seat. I don't know what it's called, but she was really young, so she had this like her own like special seat that you put on top of the regular seat. And then my second brother was not letting me sit on the side, and my oldest brother always got shotgun, right? So I think for I would say approximately like 7 years, my mom drove all four of the our siblings to school. But eventually, when my oldest brother got his driver's license, he got his own car, which was even smaller. It only sat four people. But basically, he would drive the rest of the siblings during his senior and junior year of high school. So I would usually sit here. I'm sorry, I'm trying to draw it all out for you guys. But yeah, so during his junior year and senior year, he would drive all four of our siblings to school. And he had this certain type of music taste. He liked AJR. Um, he liked Japanese pop, J-pop. And he liked Michael Bublé. Sorry, guys. But basically, he liked these three artists, and you'll see the importance of this later. But, anyways, he would drive all three of us to school, and a tradition that he would do is that he would bring us to 7-Eleven, and he would get Slurpees for us. Now, my mom would never do that. My mom would definitely never do that. She would never allow um, any of us to either go to like McDonald's or whatever to nothing. So we loved like all of us love Slurpees. This was like heaven to us going to 7-Eleven every week with like right after school because we all went to this K through 12 school, right? So, right after school, my brother, he would call us, and we would all go to his car, and then every week we would go to 7-Eleven and get a Slurpee. And he did this for approximately 2 years until he graduated. When he graduated, my second brother um, took over the car. So it was him. My sister always got priority, so she sat in the front, and I had to sit in the cramped back seat. But it's okay. But my second brother's tradition was he also listened to these three plus indie. Um, so let me quickly. His tradition was that after each week he would bring us to the local deli. And that deli was really good. Um, I remember I always got a half and half lemonade. And sometimes I would get an acai bowl. Other times I would get like maybe Yankee Peddler was a good sandwich or snack. I like Milano mint chocolate too. It depends, right? Day to day it depends. But he would bring us to the deli. This obviously costs a lot more than 7-Eleven, but my second brother would always pay out of pocket, and he did this for a year. So he took over the same car. It was literally the same car, and he was the one driving us back and forth to school. Now, when he graduated, there's a bit of an age gap. So, for context, the age gap between here is 1 year. The age gap between this, how do I not know this? It's 3 to 4, right? And this is 4. Between me and my little sister is 4. So essentially, when I eventually got my driver's license, I drove my little sister to school. My senior year. I'm like pretty young for my grade, so I drove her only in my senior year. But basically, my tradition was to bring her to both the 7-Eleven and the deli. Um, by this time, we all had, like, me and my sister had, like, various different, like, extracurricular activities after school. For example, I played tennis and basketball, varsity tennis and basketball after school. So sometimes I would do that. Um, she had her own thing, but anytime she needed me to drive her somewhere, I would always do it, and I wouldn't even ask. Like, that's how good of a brother I am, always driving her everywhere. But yeah, so I would bring her to 7-Eleven and the deli. So this will be on 2 separate days though. One day I bring her to the deli, other day I bring her to 7-Eleven. Some days I would bring the deli stuff to her, and then drive her back home. But yeah, so what did I add? I added K-pop, or sometimes C-pop too. It depends. Like, I only got into C-pop towards the end of my senior year. Um, but yeah, so what eventually happened was that my oldest brother set the precedent of what music we listen to. Like, we all share. So we all listen to AJR, J-pop, and Michael Bublé. Then my second brother, my little sister, and I, we all listen to indie pop. And now me and my little sister, we listen to K-pop, C-pop, plus all the things mentioned above. So for my, like, the film, I guess, like, the short film idea would be like, it would be structured like this. It'd be 5 seasons. It started in fall because that's when school starts, right? And let me think. Basically, fall would start with this story of how my mom drove all of us, and I thought, like, I guess, like, how it would be shot, like, cinematically, would be, it would be taken, like, the camera would be here, right, and the camera would be here as well. So there's two cameras, one that shows, like, this perspective, and the other that shows the driver's perspective. Um, I'll get into more about like how it will be shot like later, but um, basically in the fall it starts off with the like my mom driving everyone, and it's of all of us at a very young age. I still have like a lot of like footage. Like my mom records just like a bunch of footage of when we were younger, so it's actually perfect. So maybe I could use those shots here. But also like want acting, so it's weird. I gotta figure that out. But in the fall, it's all of us, right? All, and it's based on seasons. In winter, like the timeline will jump. It'll jump to this period when my oldest brother got his driver's license. So let's start with that. And then in the spring, it will jump to um, my second brother. Summer, it'll jump to me. And then this has yet to happen, but we'll go back to the fall, where it's just my little sister. So my little sister's still in high school, so she doesn't have her driver's license yet. So this will be unfinished. I don't know what how I'll go with this, the ending of the story, right? Because it didn't happen. I want it to be like somewhat based on true events, right? But at least like the season matters a lot because in the fall's when school starts, right? So when my mom, this is like the almost the inception of our journey. Like this whole movie idea wouldn't like have come into fruition if we all didn't start driving at the beginning of the school year. So each season will correspond to events that happen during that part of the season. So like this is the beginning of school. This is when we all like my mom's driving us to like Staples to get school supplies, and we're all like deciding, oh, I want this folder, I want these pens or whatever, right? Winter is actually this is like this lines up actually perfectly because my brother actually I wasn't in the car. It was only my second brother and my younger sister that were in the car, but basically he crashed into like a little pit, um, which is super funny when those two siblings were in the car when that happened. But it basically it'll recall like events that happened during that season. While this person was my oldest brother was the driver. But yeah, so like the crash scene. I think another like core memory would be like um so you know how we listen to Michael Bublé? Michael Bublé has a Christmas soundtrack, and we have this tradition where we make hot cocoa. Also, we got our one of our dogs, Lucky. We got him during the winter as well, so that could be another core memory. This could actually line up perfectly with that. But yeah, so that would be the winter. I don't know. Like my estimate would be like an hour for the film. I think hour is a good length. Spring is like graduation season, right? So my brother's like his graduation, I think he was top of his class. So this would be his like graduation ceremony, which is a big moment for him. Um Let me think what also happens in the spring. I don't really know. Like this the spring I haven't really thought about much. Oh, going back to the fall. Like you know how like fall like leaves are changing, it's a very like transient period of time. I think that's pretty symbolic. I want to include some like symbolism there. Yeah. Sorry guys, I don't know if this is too messy. But yeah. Anyways, summer. This is my this is my basically this was like graduation party, right? Oopsies. But also this is like when like the sad part of the movie kicks in because this is when I start like going to work, right? So even though like it's supposed to be moments of like me driving and like for example like fall it's my mom driving, winter is my oldest brother driving, spring is my second brother driving, summer should be of me driving. But there will be less like montages or less scenes in montages of me driving with my little sister because I'm working. So it's supposed to be like sad, like how the number of passengers slowly decreases throughout the years. Um, and even in summertime, it's slowly fading to that one driver as I'm like working over the summer, right? And then a perfect transition into the back into the where it all began in the fall, right? Is like move-in day for me when I got into college. Um, how that was the time where we all came back together before it goes back to fall, where it's just my little sister, and we don't know what happens at the end of the story yet. But yeah, that was my idea. Um, I don't know if the title of these um, these are good titles. I'll figure it out. But yeah, I think what's super important is this shot right here. I think like there like a camera having it at like the shotgun side, especially towards like summer and fall when there's less and less people, could be super. I don't know, like a good cinematic choice, right? Shooting choice. I don't even know the correct terms. It's so late, but especially like as like the montage, like because in each season there will be a montage of like us laughing in the car or like having fun or listening to music in the car, right? Each season with each of its members, right? But during the summer and fall, where it's like slowly transitioning to just my little sister, I want to have like this like it's flashing between two scenes where it's just my sister and I and just my sister, right? And it's from this perspective. So it's like this person's like disappearing in that montage, like and reappearing, like my sister, like switching places, right? It's like slowly fading away until it's goes into fall when it's just one person, my little sister, driving by themselves. Maybe the end scene is like my little sister just driving like to school with the leaves changing color, right? And it and like she's playing a Michael Bublé song, like on the way to school. I don't know. I think it'd be a very cool idea. Hopefully you guys like it. But yeah, that's my movie short film idea. Thank you for listening. If you stayed this long, comment below what you think a good title for this short film would be, or if you have any thoughts about this short film. Thank you.